You know who it is with Video Quattro of the Week. Quattro, maybe Cinco. Video number 4 or 5 of the week. I done lost count because this isn't what I do. But so much has happened in the past couple of weeks. A lot of things are changing right now. And I'm going to talk about Comcast today. Now, I don't usually talk about Comcast. I am invested in Comcast. But Comcast does not really align with my values, my morals. I'm invested in Comcast because of personal reasons. I'll leave it at that. Comcast released their earnings. Of course, they're down on video, up on broadband because that's where the world's going. You know, their NBC side's probably not going to do all that well. I'm not sure what the Sky thing's doing right now. I haven't really read through their earnings report because I spend so much time on MoneyGram. I leave my Comcast positions alone. I don't flip and flop them. I don't do anything with them because even when they go down, they're going to go back up just because of the infrastructure on the cable side. For those of you that don't really understand the cable side and why it's so strong, Comcast doesn't just, well, a lot of cable companies do this. Comcast doesn't just send your internet and your video to your house. They also rent their fiber network to cell towers. Now, here's why this is important. I'm not trying to offend anyone's intelligence or anything like that, but a lot of people aren't aware that cell phone towers are only wireless to the tower. When the information leaves or comes to the tower, it does so on a fiber optic. And a lot of times, it's maybe 1-2 companies delivering that service. It's going to be a cable company, and it's probably going to be maybe an AT&T fiber. There's a couple of other companies that are out there that do fiber networks. Another thing you need to understand is Crown Castle's position in all this. Crown Castle owns the towers. They also have their own 5G that's out there hidden. Nobody sees. Crown Castle owns these towers, and they rent space out to Verizon, T-Mobile. Comcast in particular has a pretty sweet deal where they provide services to Verizon. Verizon rides down their fiber optic networks wherever they need to go. Xfinity's cell phone service runs off of the Xfinity branded cell phone service Comcast offers uses their Verizon network. Comcast does the same thing with T-Mobile. They rent them some fiber, and T-Mobile uses their fiber to transmit and receive data. Same thing for both of those companies. Huge revenue for Comcast. They make a lot of money off of that, keeping these cell towers running because everything's going wireless, which brings me to my next point. The only reason we're talking about Comcast right now is because they just raised this thing to a target of $52. This thing was $34, I believe, not even a month ago. Comcast, no matter how many people tell you they are going to cut the cord and they are going to hurt the cable company, no matter how many people dislike Comcast for their extremist views on politics and things like that, the fact remains that they have a network that people have to have. And anywhere Comcast is active, there's usually not a competitor that can compete with them. Now they're coming. There's a lot of people running their own fiber optic to the home. So here is the other reason I have to talk about Comcast. Because Comcast has now stepped into the crypto ring. Now they've already been in cahoots with Charter, Spectrum, and all them guys. So let's read through a little bit of this. Quant Network appoints Neil Smith, Comcast Vice Chairman, to Board of Directors. This means Comcast is in bed with Quant Network. Now, I don't know much about Quant Network, so just making a blanket statement on, I believe it's kind of a think tank, kind of a group that is exploring ways to use blockchain, and I'm being very general here. We could get real deep into this, but let's be honest, you and I are not doing what these folks are trying to do with blockchain. These guys are trying to figure out how to use the blockchain network to send information, I believe. Not just to trade value. So I checked up on my old Comcast shares, which I don't do very often because it's just something that I hold. I don't trade it. And this popped up next to it. And I saw a little alert next to my shares that said Neil Smith, Quant Network, crypto, something to that effect. And I'm like, oh Lord. We already knew that they were doing something with Charter and some other cable companies earlier. This guy is a Comcast guy. This guy is not going anywhere. this guy is not going to do anything for Quant. What this tells me is that maybe they've invested in the Quant network, and maybe they're looking for ways to use it. They gave you a little bit of background here on Neil Smith. So since I have ties to Time Warner through previous employment, I now have ties to Charter, because anything that was Time Warner became a Charter thing as far as the cable side, which also gave me ties to America Online. And this is why I know this dude's been around a long time. And if Comcast sent him to be a part of the team that makes decisions for Quant Network, that means that Comcast has intentions on using whatever they come up with here. Just like they're saying in this article, they wanted a large-scale internet network to help achieve our vision. And that's what Comcast has. That's why they sent this dude to be on the board. So make no mistakes about it. Neil Smith is there to use whatever advantage he can find for Comcast. I thought this was very interesting. I found this out at the same time I found out that Comcast has a projected share price of $52 now. I mean, even a year ago it was only $42. I'm talking $10 a share, and that's pretty legit because all the ratings show it at a 52. Alright, so my point being, watch out for Comcast. They got a new price target of $52. You know, if you look at the ratings and when you look at the ratings and see that there are 0 underperforms and 0 sells, it's gonna go up. Because Wall Street looks at this stuff. This is what they care about. They don't care about someone's feelings or what you think might happen. They care about numbers. And when you get ratings like this thing's going to go up. People can talk about cord cutting all they want to, because now the streaming services, because what they're saying is they can get a streaming service for nothing. Now all of a sudden the streaming services are costing something, because you can't get everything you want on Netflix. You can't get everything you want on Peacock. You can't get everything you want on whatever Disney calls their thing. So now, in order to get everything you want, you have to pay a whole lot of different companies for their services. When it used to be that you just paid the cable company for your video service. So I don't know how this streaming thing is going to work out for people. And if you can't afford to pay for multiple services, then you're probably going to be stuck watching whatever Netflix puts on. If you're stuck with an Amazon Prime, which I have that, I don't even know what's on there. I've turned that thing on one time and I've never found anything I liked. It just came with the Prime membership and I don't even use it. I tried to watch the weird Nazi thing and I couldn't even get through a few episodes of it. It made no sense. It wasn't even interesting at all. It was just like here's a flat fantasy. Yeah, we're not going to make it exciting at all. It was almost like a documentary it was almost like a fantasy documentary. I mean, how could you mess that up? If you're going to go fantasy, go full fantasy. I was about to reference Tropic Thunder, but I don't think that'd be appropriate right now. But that's what I got on old Comcast here. I see we picked up another subscriber in between the video I put out this morning and now. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully you like what we do here. This is a no judgment channel. This is just all my opinions, not financial advice. Do what you want to do. Common Sense Crypto out.